If I was writing a cookbook, this recipe would definitely be in it. Part 3, Egg Bites. There's a certain famous coffee shop that has something called egg bites, and they're delicious. They're so cute, they're portable, they are easy to eat out of hand, and I was thinking I would like to make my own version at home, way cheaper. For this recipe, you'll need 6 eggs, 1 cup of cottage cheese, half a teaspoon of salt, quarter teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 2 ounces of cheese, and maybe some vegetables. In a bowl, you mix the eggs, cottage cheese, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. If you mix those in a bowl, top with cheese, and put into little muffin tins, bake them at 350 for 25 minutes, you would have egg bites. So the reason I started making this recipe is because there is a sweet little lady baby in the house, and she is entering the phase where she's trying new foods. And I thought that this would be a great make-ahead type of meal. A make-ahead type of meal that you can have some extra veggies snuck in. That sounded perfect to me. What I've learned is with this recipe, you don't want to overpack them with veggies, otherwise they're going to get soggy. So there's some things that you can do. You could just choose not to put vegetables in. You could put a lot of vegetables in and then you can saute them to take out some of the moisture. Or you can put in raw vegetables like I did with the Swiss chard, but you have to put in less. So if it's raw, 3/4 of a cup. If it's cooked, you could go 1.5 cups. Last step is adding the cheese. I used 2 ounces of cheese and I put 1 ounce chopped up into the bowl, and the other ounce I chop up and I top the muffins with that. I usually use an extra sharp cheddar because it packs a lot of flavor. This idea was really popular a few years ago, and I tried it a few years ago. I used a regular muffin tin, and while they tasted good, it was just nearly impossible cleaning that pan. It was so frustrating that I just said, oh, this isn't for me. And then the idea popped in my mind again, and I thought, what about silicone muffin molds? Because they'd be easy to clean and easy to have them. When you initially take them out of the oven, they're very puffed up and then they begin to deflate a little bit. And as soon as I can handle them, I take them out of the little molds and I put them on a plate, because if you leave them in the molds, they just get a little bit soggy. So I take them out as quickly as I can. And thankfully, they just like release right from the silicone mold. These liners are really easy to clean, plus they stand up on their own. So if you wanted to, you could fit like 24 of these probably on that tray, and you can bake a bulk batch all at once. These egg bites come out so nice and tender because they have the cottage cheese in them. And you could add any combination of spices and vegetables. So it means that they're also just infinitely customizable. So it's a good basic recipe that you can tweak for whatever you have in season or around the house. Half of this batch got eaten right away, and this other half is getting put into the freezer for a later date. If you don't have these silicone muffin liners, you can still make it in a traditional muffin tin. Just make sure you grease it really well. It will make it a lot easier for you when you try to take them out. Now for the 6 questions that I ask about every recipe that I make. First question is, how does it taste? Well, they're delicious. They're creamy and they're cheesy and they're eggy, and you can add whatever you want to customize them. So they're very yummy. Next up, is it easy? Yeah, it's easy. No unusual ingredients or complicated techniques. Then I ask, is it quick? Yeah, it's pretty quick. You just have to portion out in those little muffin tins and bake it. And you bake it for 25 minutes, so you could have it ready in like 45 minutes. Then I ask, can you freeze it? And yes, you can. You can put them in the freezer and then just pop them in the air fryer when you are ready for them. And yes, you can make them in bulk, and that's another important question. Lastly is the cost. And that one is a little bit tricky. I made this batch for about $5 or $5.50. The biggest factor is the eggs, and I tend to get the good quality eggs. So you could make it cheaper if you got the most basic type of egg, and it also varies depending on what you put into it. If you try it, I hope you enjoy it.